What's up, guys? My name is Solus Baby, and today I want to do a full overview of Destiny, where it's at right now, where I think it's going, how we're doing right now, and how it's going to be proceeding forward based on my point of view as kind of an unaffiliated person that just does YouTube and plays the video game quite a bit. So I feel like I have a good third-party perspective, other than some of these guys that you can blatantly tell are paid to do it versus the ones that just smash it to get views. I want to give you an honest representation of somebody that plays a lot of Destiny and where I think this is going to go based on past experiences. So basically, I want to talk about a whole bunch of different things, ramble a little bit about them, and get you guys' feedback on what you think it's doing right now. We're at the end of Black Armory, pretty much. The 29th is going to have a new sandbox update a little bit. It's a minor one, but it's still there. Last word and all that stuff. So a couple of the things, if you're watching this in the future, will be probably not pertaining to the new stuff on the 29th, but I'll do another video then to kind of update it there. Black Armory as a whole, I think, did pretty well. It was a little bumpy when we first got started. It was a little tough for people to play the content that they just paid for with the light caps where they were in the forges. Made it very difficult unless you hoarded bounties from before, but in my opinion, and apparently in Bungie's opinion, that's cheating a little bit, and they're not going to allow you to do that going forward. So unless you hoarded bounties, it was difficult to do the forges, to say the least. However, I think for what it was, a $10 expansion pretty much, it had enough content to keep me satisfied for what I paid for it. Was it everything that I expected it to be? Pretty much. They said it repeatedly that this was not going to be a full-size DLC. This is a small little snippet of content that's going to keep you doing stuff over and over and over again while you're waiting for more new stuff to come out, keep you engaged. And I think they did a good job of doing this, but they went about a couple of things in the wrong way. Specifically, Bergusia and Niobe Labs, content should not be behind a puzzle if you don't have a puzzles-based community. Some games are perfectly fine with this, and a lot of people try to equate this to like Call of Duty with the Easter eggs and zombies. That's not the same thing. This is literally locking content from you to be able to do unless this puzzle gets solved by somebody. And to me, that's a little ridiculous, especially since, well, we paid for it. The puzzle should be a supplement to what we get, not blocking us from what we get. So that's my opinion on Niobe Labs. I think the forges themselves as an activity, not too bad. I like this weapon system overall better than anything that we've had before. Easily farmable items and stuff like that are not something that I'm used to in Destiny, and I love that. So I think Black Armory hit and missed a couple things, but I think Bungie's going to learn from it. Next up is Activision. This whole split with Activision and everything caused a huge ripple in the community, and I don't really know why yet, to be honest with you. It doesn't seem like anything is going to get affected for quite some time. If anything, we'll probably see more of an impact in year down the line. Destiny 3, that kind of stuff will more get impacted from this split than Destiny 2 will. The content that's already been created and being created, it's already in the works. All they're going to have to do is fund it. And from my understanding, they have a fairly substantial deal with the company that they will be able to provide for their people to get paid to work on this thing. So I don't think we're going to see too much out of the Activision Bungie split on the consumer side until new stuff starts to come out. Next year's fall DLC, if there is one. D3, if for the love of God they don't take their time doing it, but I hate that. I want them to be able to take the time they need for Destiny 3 like they didn't do for Destiny 2. And like the beta was for Destiny 1, but they couldn't pull that together for the launch either, so that's later on. Next, PvP. I'm a big PvP player. If you've watched any of my videos, you would know that. I think it's in a good place right now, but there are a couple of issues that I think need to be addressed. Right now, the meta is hand cannon, shotgun, stuff like that. It's what people kind of asked for. They wanted more special ammo back. Me personally, I would have preferred the double primaries and stuff. I don't think the Warmind side of it was the way to go, where they had so many power bricks across the map. It's like a weird hybrid of D1, D2. I don't like that at all. I don't think that should be in the game. Special should be the way it is right now, spawning with 2 rounds. I agree with that. Shotguns should probably not have as much range as they do. It's a little ridiculous, but with the meta changing, I understand why they do what they do. They want to keep it feeling fresh, but they need to do it faster, in my opinion. They need to keep it moving a little bit quicker than they have been, because it's starting to feel a little stale with all the shotgunners and stuff like that. Even if they moved it to, you know, a fusion rifle meta or a sniper meta, I'm fine with that. So far, what I'm seeing out of the 29th, the updates, it's going to be pushing a little bit more for snipers to be more friendly, especially the higher rate of fire archetypes, and if they're still sticking with the one-shot kill of supers, they'll be a lot more viable and competitive as well, which I'm super happy about. Competitive matchmaking also, the tweaking, from what I've noticed, what I've done in comp since they've done the tweaking, is very noticeable. If you are in Legend, you are going to have a tough time finding a match because there's so few people up there. You're going to get mongoose error codes more than you will anything else. If you're playing on a lower level, you won't have a ridiculously long queue time, and you will match in the same area as you. So, in my opinion, this is going to make it a lot easier for people to get things like Not Forgotten, because your hardcore players that are streaming or are just really good and competitive and they want to play a lot aren't going to want to sit through 10 minutes of queue time to get a match. They're just not going to do that. It's not good for them as a viewer. I wouldn't do it if I was streaming. So that's just where I think that's going. And I think we're in a good spot overall PvP, like I said before. Now, Destiny 3, like I kind of touched on a little bit earlier, I want them to take their time. I want them to take as long as they need, even if we go through a ridiculous content drought, for them to make the game everything that it can be without restrictions, if they were so imposed by Activision. I want them to take as much time as possible and get it right. Listening to community feedback like they've been doing a great job of so far with Forsaken, I want them to continue to do that with Destiny 3. Other than that, I think it's going to be kind of different than Destiny 2 in a way, because Destiny 2 has a smaller player base than Destiny 1. Destiny 3 will probably be tailored more towards a hardcore experience than a casual game, because that seems to be where everything's trending. They tried to casualify D2 and it just didn't work for them. As far as where I think the whole franchise is going, I don't see it going anywhere anytime soon with Anthem and everything coming out. I know that's on everybody's mind, but I just don't see that being a huge defining factor for Destiny. Will it take them for a little while? Yeah, sure, the same way Division did last year, but it was, or the last few years ago, I suppose. It happens. People come back. They come back to what they enjoy. And if you'll notice, people in the community, the reason that they get so animated about the stuff that's going on with Bungie is because they love it. They have a lot of good memories with Destiny, and they don't want to see it run into the ground. And I really hope that with the split, Bungie can really make this what it needs to be, and not be infringed upon, like I said, if there were stuff going on in the background that we didn't know about. Other than that, that's pretty much all I have for this kind of whole overview of the game thing. Leave me a comment underneath this video on what your opinions are about what's happening right now, where things are going. I would love to hear them. Like this video if you've agreed with some stuff, or you think it's a decent little insight. Subscribe to my channel for more Destiny content. With that, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.